Hello everyone and welcome to the Open Talks episode number 8. In this episode we are going to talk about very interesting things which includes the first is like GitHub Copilot. Second is Android is like replacing APK. That is interesting. And third is Oxygen OS's code base is being rebased or maybe merged with ColorOS. So, I mean, that is weird, right? I mean, both the OSs are literally were meant for different things, and now they are merging them. So let's see like what happens. Yeah, well, so I guess let's start, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, so first topic is like GitHub Copilot. So what is going on here? Like what are these people up to? So what they are trying to do is they are trying to create an extension as of now on the VS Code which will autocomplete the codes for you. So if you write a comment, like let's say you want to build a timer for let's say 10 minutes, what it will do is it will understand the comment, like what you are trying to say, and then it will write the code for you. It won't be efficient, but it will be a working code. That's what they are saying. Now let's see how they might have built, right? So first thing, they've used GPT-3, I guess GPT-2 or GPT-3, GPT-3, GPT-3 model. So first and foremost, it is Microsoft who is building this thing. Second and foremost, they have the data. So like to build any kind of machine learning model or any kind of deep learning model, you need to have a great amount of data, good data for your model. Third thing is you need to have an good algorithm, that is GPT-3, and they have licensed it in such a way that the other organizations who are trying to make this thing using GPT-3, they cannot directly use GPT-3 like Microsoft have used it in this GitHub Copilot. So essentially you cannot create clone of GitHub Copilot with GPT-3 and create out GitHub. That's what the situation is as of now. So what they might have done to create this thing is, first of all, let's say you have different programming languages. Mainly this is meant for JavaScript, but even Python is there, Java is there, C++ is there. So GitHub has code for every language, and GitHub knows like this code is for this thing, this code is for this thing. They have tons and tons of data. So what they have
Mainly
done is
from Stack
they have done is
Overflow,
they have downloaded. Oh yeah, that also. So yeah, even like people do ask the questions, and the best answer, the solution is there in the comments, right? So that also is being taken care. So what is happening? They are kind of taking that data. They are performing some kind of data preparation techniques on that. I mean, I'm using very easy words. Like it is not very easy to do these things, but they are doing these things. Second of all, they are using GPT-3. So like what happens is you have to give your let's say Stack Overflow question to the GPT-3 model. That model will convert that text stuff into an encoded form, which me or Abhiram or you cannot understand, but the model can understand. Now the model is a transformer model, so it understands the context on which the question is coming on, and it's given the output, literally the best solution in the code. So now the model knows like whenever this things come, I have to literally give this code, I don't even have to even change it, just change the variables, and there you go. And then literally that code is kind of encoded inside the model. There is a decoder at the end that decodes the code, and that gives you the literal coding in textual form. So as of now, what's the situation? They have built an VS Code extension and that is accessible through, I guess, invites. Second of all, they are planning to build an enterprise version of it. So I mean, yeah. So what they're trying to do is they are using us as a testers, and based on the feedback we give, they will kind of tweak the thing, and then they will release the commercial version. So yeah, it is going to be commercial. They will literally wrote in their official somewhere site.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So
I
what's your
mean,
take on this thing?
like thinking about the programmer side of you, right? I am a programmer, you are a programmer. Like, we both understand how
Yeah,
difficult it is to write a code. Like, I mean, in the sense, like, if you want to build a new thing and you are not familiar with the particular thing, that to a point where it just comes out of you, right? Literally comes out of you, not like that, it is not familiar to
yeah,
you, then you just go ahead and search in Stack Overflow, like I just need a button, I just need a like a frame or something like that, right? And what happens is people
correct.
just give us code and we just take, normally, like, some people say we just copy paste, but we don't, right? I mean, we just take the intuition from the code, right, which they show, and we
Exactly.
just modify it to our own purpose. So yeah, like, this is what actually happens. And like, it is really really amazing that uh, these AI, uh, like a newer way, right? Newer way of assisting us is coming, right? The older way is like the IDE kind of says, okay, you want to use this variable, you want to
Yeah.
use that variable, like, do you have any error here, like, do you
Mm.
have an error there, right? Then came the code snippets, right? Like, if you remember code snippets, uh, Google
Yes.
actually added code snippets to, like, you can see Colab, right? And VS Code also has code snippets,
Yes.
and that was, I guess, that is very similar to like this thing, right? But the thing is, then you have to voluntarily take the code, right? Which code it is. Now you just
Right.
write the command, and what happens is the Copilot is so efficient, like so efficient that it literally finds the right code, right, to put it there, exactly what to put it there, and it even replaces the variables, like
Mm.
whatever you wrote, right, whatever your variables are, it takes those variables, put it in there. Like, I mean, that takes a lot of, lot of, I guess, intelligence to do, right? But the thing is, at last, this is toddler code, and I don't know, like, some people even describe this as toddler code, right? Like, and this is, I mean, this is AI, right? So we anyway have to be excited about what are the, new things which are coming up, right? I mean, in terms of
Yeah.
humans have taken a lot of steps to reach there, right? I mean, from here to there, and likewise
Correct.
AI has to also take the steps to reach there. And this is like the first step to doing
Right.
this. And one more thing, actually, we both know, right? GPT-3 was already good at
Mm.
coding. Like,
That is
it
absolutely,
actually,
absolutely
when
true.
it started, right? I mean, GPT-3 was like a, I think there was also like the access thing, right? It was pre-trained model, but the model is not available to the public. It is like a AP access key, right? You have to get the access key, right? And after getting the access key, you can just access the uh, basically access the repository, right? I mean, not the repository, the API. And with that, you can just ask GPT your questions if you want. And GPT is basically a kind of, like, you can say, language based model, right? That is, you just ask a text
Mm.
input and you just get a text output. That is the normal way how you communicate. And the thing is,
Right.
Microsoft has basically taken that model and retrained it. I mean, I don't know if it is retrained with, you can say, without any, variables from the old training set, right? I mean, old training set was Wikipedia, right?
Right.
If I'm correct, the the other one was Wikipedia, right? GPT-3 was trained with.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Most probably. Yeah. I don't
It
remember,
has
but
to
yeah,
be
it has to
Wikipedia.
be.
And I don't know if they have kind of preserved that variables, right? I mean, these are all like weights, right? Those weights, and on top of the weights they have kind of,
Yeah.
like, they can do it two routes, right? I mean, one way is to keep the weights. They can, on top of the weights, they can train with the newer data, right? Or they can just, erase
Okay.
the weights, I mean, start from scratch, right? And basically, like, do it from, start to beginning, train the data set, right? I mean, train with the data set. So I don't know which is done, right? Like no one has really released any real intel on this, because it is all kind of closed source, right? Even though OpenAI seems to be, open, right? I mean, in the name, but it is not open, right? So yeah, like
Mhm.
I mean, it is really good, right? But it is also kind of interesting, because future jobs of the programmers might get replaced by these bots, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the basic programming, yeah, of course, it can replace it.
Absolutely. The thing
Absolutely.
is, but programming is much more easier to be replaced, because sergeants and those kind of things, patients won't allow it, right? Here, companies are willing, like,
Right.
just apply, right? Just do it, like.
Exactly. Yeah, if it works, then
Yeah.
just use it
So
like that.
I hope. I mean, I hope there will always be a way. Like, I mean, humans will be better, right? I mean, AI will be writing some kind of a non-optimal code, right? Because I don't want anyone to
Yeah,
suffer, joblessness. I mean, so
absolutely.
maybe the AI developers will be thriving after that, right? I mean, there should be someone to
Correct.
kind of develop the AI, right? Like, it is not like the AI has went to singularity, right? Developing
Yeah,
itself. Maybe that can happen,
yeah.
right? I mean, as now it can write code, right?
Hmm.
Maybe it can edit its own code, and like, it is
Yeah,
not there yet, but like, it is the first step, right? I mean, like, it need
exactly.
not be efficient, right? I mean, it can do clustering and those kind of things, maybe like make
Hmm.
more computation available to itself to run the inefficient code, then using that, maybe like optimize itself, right, for writing efficient code, then keep on optimizing itself until like it becomes the next Skynet, I guess.
Right.
Oh man, hope that it
Yeah,
doesn't go that way, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so it doesn't go that too far. Correct. Okay, Abram. So I guess that's it, right, for
Yeah,
this topic?
like, by the way, right, we both, like, did you apply for the access token?
Yeah,
And
I,
you
I
got
did. I did.
rejected, right? I mean, it is like, if you are not accepted, you are rejected. That is what they're saying, right? So,
I see. So yeah, absolutely. I got zero
so
mails.
yeah, you are rejected,
So
as well as I am, and my friend Abhijit is also rejected. So, you know, mm, a
yeah.
big eyebrow on that. And I mean, like, who they are accepting? Maybe like only people who say positives they are
Hmm.
accepting. Like,
Correct.
I don't
Correct.
know,
Correct.
right? And
Correct.
don't
Correct.
quote me on this, but still, like, accepting it has only accepted a less number of people, right? When compared to, and it
Yeah.
is really specific,
Yeah.
like some YouTubers and some people who have traction,
Hmm.
right? Those are the people who are
Yeah.
got
Exactly.
accepted. And yeah. Hmm.
Right.
Let's go to next topic.
Okay. So yeah, next topic is about Android. I mean, from the inception of Android, we all are used to the APK format, if I'm not wrong.
Absolutely.
And the extension is of OBB, I guess. Like if there is like huge files, you make an OBB for it, right? So this is the normal way. Now what Google has done is they've ditched APK and OBB, both of them. They've built a new uh, packaging format for their Android operating system, which is named as Android App Bundle AAB. So I mean, we are not against it, but the thing is that we anticipated. Like when Android 12 came, we both told you that this is going to happen. Google is slowly going the iOS way. So AAB, like first of all, what all the developers have to do before August, they have to convert their APK to AAB and then upload to Google Drive. Sorry, Google Play Store. Second of all, the app has to be verified in those things, and then only it will be installable by the all the users. So let me show you the interesting point here. So Avram, just a moment, share let's go to the second screen. So here, can you see other considerations in here? Just see this thing, right?
Yes.
Apps that are not
Yes.
this thing.
Yes.
So it is saying that apps that are not installed using the Google Play Store and are missing one or more required split APKs, it will fail on the Google certified devices, which is Android 10 and above. So apparently you won't be able to install AAB if it is not installed from Google Play Store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So as of now, what will happen? All the developers will move their apps to AAB. APK will literally be it will be supported by Google, but developers won't support it. So there is no point in having APK.
Right. Right.
And then slowly Google will kind of ditch out APK in maybe 2-3 versions of Android, and then Android is equal to iOS.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do
Like
you have to
the
say
thing
for
is,
this disaster?
I do think this will be like this is a time, right? I mean, there's a point in time where uh, the Android becomes iOS, right? I mean, it first starts with everything being like, you can install whatever apps you want. You can you can basically do whatever with your phone, right? And it starts locking down each feature,
Yeah.
right? One by one, uh, slowly until it
Slowly.
becomes iOS-ish. Now they're blocking installing like apps from a different app store, right? So to become a monopoly,
Yeah.
that is what I'm literally hearing, right? I mean, I can't hear anything other than this,
Exactly.
because the thing is there are Galaxy stores, F-Droid, these all exist only because
Mhm.
we can install APKs, right? And if APK
Absolutely.
support is dying and you can only install, that AAB from Play Store, then it is kind of dead, right? I mean, you can't install any more apps, right? I mean, there is absolutely no way to install any more apps from other than Google Play
Yeah.
Store, right? Unless you are running custom ROM, right? Like custom ROMs can install, right? It seems, right? I mean, AAB can be installed, right? Even if it's not, it's saying like if it is Google certified, then only they will prevent it, right?
Mhm.
So
Right. That is
it
correct.
means
That
that
is correct.
these custom ROMs are not Google certified, right? At first, so they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
install.
Yeah.
But the thing is that means that if you want to have a modded app, for example, YouTube Vans, right? I mean, then you have to
Hmm.
basically have a Google uncertified device. And when you have Google uncertified
Right.
device, you don't have DRM. You don't have. Um, I mean, you can just make a whole list, right? I mean, the list might even extend to the moon, right? I mean, that is how
Mhm.
much they have denied access, right? I mean, uh,
Yeah.
so the thing, one more thing I have heard is the AAB kind of based on not really Java but web. It is it like that?
As of now, I don't know. Let's see if it is mentioned in the
Yes,
blog,
yes.
right?
So yeah, like what I have heard is like they are like switching from the Java as their main language to having every app be web, right? I mean, web based app. And
Okay.
it will be supported for a while, but after some time they will like kick
Mhm.
out the Java, right? But if they are
Yeah.
doing it, right? I mean, I don't know if they are doing it, right? I have heard it from uh, a lot of YouTubers, right? So if they are doing
Yeah.
it, this is a bad way, right? I mean, this is a bad way because Java itself is inefficient, right? in the sense like there is a JVM and there is lot of you know, a lot of abstraction going on top of things, right? I mean,
Right, right,
so
right.
I literally don't like Android going this route, right? Uh, I mean to use something which is inefficient, and now they are using something which is more
Mm,
inefficient, right? I mean, web is
yeah,
utterly inefficient when compared to like C or CPP or Java, right? I mean, if you do something like a benchmark, maybe like finding primes using JavaScript, you will already know like how inefficient it
yeah,
is. Uh, so
right.
when you are asking me, right, I mean, I would be rather moving from Java to more low level language like Rust or C++ or C, or maybe like even adding some, new support to Java that will actually natively run the code or something like that, right? Like, for example, in Apple,
Correct.
every app is written natively, right, on the device. And that is an
Mm,
advantage with Apple
yes.
because now they are rocking, I don't know, like 4 GB RAM or something, right? 4 GB or 3 GB maximum they have. 4 GB
Yeah,
of RAM.
4 GB,
And
4 GB.
absolutely with that, they
Yeah,
are basically, equating, right, the iPhones to the flagship level devices which have 12 GB of RAM, right? And if we take the ratio, right,
exactly.
and that is like 1 is to 3, like, I mean, 3 times, right? 3 times is the ratio of RAM, right? And
Yeah,
that is really weird, right? I mean, that is really bothering everyone, right? I mean, doesn't it bother you, right? I mean, the inefficiency Google
yeah,
introduces with this,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, see this phone, right? I'm using this phone with paranoid Android, and like I have 3
right?
GB of RAM. If I switch from this app to the other app, and I come back to this app, the app is literally gone. I mean, the system itself is using, I guess, more than 2 GB of 2.5 GB of RAM. So, I mean, what the hell? What the hell you have created?
Yeah, like the thing is, even with laptop of 4 GB RAM, right? I mean, you can run more than one application. Like even with Windows, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Windows is pretty inefficient,
Yeah,
but it is not as inefficient as Android is at this point. Android is like
exactly.
bathing in RAM, right? So the thing is, why go
Yeah,
more inefficient, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, there was Firefox OS, if you remember. Like Firefox OS, it failed, right? It failed for a
yeah.
reason because
Which
it
feel,
was
yeah.
slow. Like it was painfully slow because the web is not that fast. And uh,
Correct, correct.
the thing is, I think what Google is doing, right? Like, just from my perspective, Android APK support has been implemented in Windows 11, as of we know, right? And if
Yeah.
we just eliminate the APK, right, then what will happen? Microsoft work is done for, right?
It's like, Aviram, let me tell you. So, it's not Microsoft, it's also Amazon.
Right.
Like, Amazon has partnered with Microsoft to to bring their Amazon store to Windows 10, and then Windows 10 has built, some things to work with Intel, some technology of Intel, which can kind of run APK on Windows. Now, with this APK, Amazon, Samsung, Android, Windows, everything is going down, literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean their work of months and years
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
gone in
Yeah.
vain.
I mean, it is like really sad that Google can just like flip up a switch like this, right? I mean, like done, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this like, I mean, they are like Thanos, right? I mean, they like disappear APKs, right?
yeah, exactly.
And there you go. Like, I mean, what explanation do you have, right? I mean, it is a packaging format. It's just a packaging format. There is absolutely no
Exactly.
difference if you package it with APK, if you package it with, AAB, right? But what they have
Yeah,
done is
yeah,
they have introduced signing to it. It needs to be blessed by Google, like iPhone
right.
does, exactly like iPhone does. And this is a problem. Like even Android developers have a problem. Like they can't easily develop apps the side loading feature requires a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
more of a, you can say, googly touch, right? To side load apps now. So
yes, yes,
I mean, uh, this is what we saw, right? This is why Linux phones have to exist. Like,
exactly.
either Microsoft has to come up with a phone which supports APKs and which beats Android in performance, or Linux has to
Hmm.
get a good hardware, right? Good vendor support, like from good
Right.
manufacturers like Qualcomm, right? I mean, Qualcomm Qualcomm
Yeah,
is like really sidelined with app like Android, right? I mean, really getting in bed with Google at this point, to a point where like Google is like not Google, right? I mean, Snap, like Qualcomm is like, no, we are not going to provide Linux any support, right, for any of our SoCs.
yeah,
And I mean,
right.
seriously, like, and one more thing, right? Going ARM is also one way of locking stuff, right? So we can see everyone is
Hmm.
attacking this direction, locking stuff, right? Microsoft is locking stuff,
Absolutely.
Google is locking stuff. I mean, Qualcomm is locking stuff. and
Yeah.
and now Amazon and GitHub, like GitHub in the sense like Microsoft, are fighting each other with their own AI
Hmm.
bots. One is Copilot and the other is Code Guru, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it is the industry, right? I mean, everyone is doing the same thing, but Google is the one which causes like a ripple in space-time continuum, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think I am done with this topic. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, let's book a ticket to Mars, right? Let's fly away from this shit. Like we don't even want to
Yeah,
live here.
let me take my phone and call Elon Musk, right? I mean, you know.
I mean, also tell him to open source. I mean, fully open
Yeah,
source their open
GPT-3,
AI
right?
project, right?
And
Absolutely.
maybe like tear up that contract with Microsoft, like, so that others can basically
Correct,
thrive,
correct,
right? I
correct.
mean, at this point, GPT-3 can be only exclusively used by Microsoft, and
Exactly.
others can use it, but
That's the
it's
issue.
just use, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess that's it for this
perfect.
topic, right? Okay, so next topic, like this came out of nowhere. So let me start from the history, right?
Absolutely.
So we all know that the best operating system which an OEM delivers is
Absolutely.
Oxygen OS. We all know that. Now, some of you might not know that Oxygen OnePlus was initially using Cyanogen OS, which was uh, which was a paid version of Cyanogen mode. Then they hired paranoid Android developers in 2015, and those people created Oxygen OS. So now you know, like these literally these people have created Oxygen OS. So yeah, bro, like the thing is that what happened afterwards, uh, as of now, ColorOS and Oxygen OS are kind of merging. So what will happen is like
I think what will happen is that like people will be raised. People will start boycotting OnePlus, right? I mean, like
yeah,
the tech god, right? The tech god MKBHD, right? Described Oxygen OS
yeah,
to be the best operating system. Like you know that like he doesn't say best. Like he never says best, right? I mean, for him to say best, it should mean something, right? Like, and
right,
I don't know, OnePlus has forgotten their legacy, right? Like they literally said they will keep, volume, that thing. Oh yeah, I'm even forgetting that. That is 3.5 mm jack, right? Audio jack, headphone jack, right? And they literally, like, they said they will keep it. They threw it away. They deleted the tweet. Even Samsung did. But the thing is, OnePlus was a community-driven, uh, company, right? And they were saying they're community driven. I mean,
Correct.
like, it is in quotes, like community driven, because after, I guess, OnePlus 3, right? I mean, even OnePlus 2, after OnePlus 2, everything started going sideways, right? Like, OnePlus 2 is the last one with cyanogen OS, if you remember.
Correct.
OnePlus 3 was not cyanogen OS, right? Yeah, it is not. Then the Eureka
Correct.
came, right? Cyanogen. Then they got sued and things like that. The CyanogenOS team basically got
Yeah.
dispersed into Lineage OS. Yeah, like a lot of things happened. Right? Uh, but
Absolutely.
the main thing is that CyanogenOS was the best OS, right? And they kind of knew it, right? And because of this dissolvement,
Yeah.
they wanted to make the best OS, so they hired parallel Android developers, right? I mean, exactly to be the
Correct.
best, and they delivered it, right? They delivered the best possible
Yeah.
performance ever in the smartphone with that particular processor, and they just threw it away, like, right? I mean, I
Mm.
mean, like, do you know that OnePlus basically, like reduces the performance of the phones? Like, they reduces the performance of the phone with upgrades after
Yeah.
a, a long time, right? I mean,
After a new phone comes up, let's say you're using OnePlus 7, and OnePlus 8 has been released, there will be a sneaky update which will come to your OnePlus 7, which will just kind of degrade your
absolutely.
performance.
The thing is, uh, for me, right, one of my friend, right, Akshay Surya, like, he kind of has that OnePlus 5, right? And what actually happened
Yeah.
is, like, I think OnePlus 5, yeah, exactly, Java session, right? And what happened is, like, for him, it was fine, right? It was fine until, like, last year, right? An update came, and with that update,
Okay.
everything he kind of liked, the EIS, everything got disabled, right? Right? I
Okay.
mean, think about a device without OS. You can't live without VAS, right? Like, if you just throw away EIS, there is no stabilization, right? I mean, there is no OS in the first place,
Yeah.
right? That device doesn't have OS. That is only OnePlus device doesn't have OS, right? I mean, like, in the lineup. But the thing is,
Correct.
if they are going that far to do it, right? I mean, now he is in a custom ROM, right? He is using Havoc at this point. But if they're
Mm.
going to
Mm.
that extent to do that, I mean, this is not surprising for me, right? To throw away whatever they
Correct.
did, right? Like, you kind of know, I was a OnePlus user. I was having 3T,
Yeah.
and I was, like, even planning to buy one more. But then they kind of snapped, right? They basically started uh, to promote stuff which is not really OnePlus material, right? OnePlus always
Yeah.
loves performance than the premiumness of the phone, right? I mean, premium is there, but they don't just introduce the features which is unwanted, right? For example, the camera thing,
Yeah.
right? That partnership with the camera, that is absolutely,
Mm.
I mean, seriously, like, this camera is mediocre in the device, and everyone said it. It is
Yes.
just like a color profile tuning, right? If you remember, which
Correct.
device was it?
Correct.
Like OnePlus 9 or OnePlus
Yeah.
9, right?
OnePlus 9. Yeah.
And I mean, like, OnePlus has literally become to a point where people are just not even caring about it. Like, right? MKB doesn't talk about that much nowadays, right? About OnePlus devices.
Yeah.
It is like just that
Correct.
MKB and everyone, right, has accepted that OnePlus has become what they wanted to be, a flagship company, right?
Yeah.
And they became the flagship company, and nowadays people only buy OnePlus to just show off. There is no enthusiast people, right? I mean,
Right.
enthusiasts are out of OnePlus, right? And now
Absolutely.
I am back with Samsung because there are a lot of things we changed with Google, right? I mean, Google doesn't want enthusiasts anymore, so they kind of start shutting down,
Yep.
Android features which are good to enthusiasts, like having root access, right? I mean,
Yep. Yep.
and also like for OS, the performance edge is now
Mm.
nearly zero, right? I mean, nowadays there are phones which are much more faster than OnePlus, right? And
Yep.
I think one of the phones like MSI
Absolutely.
or something, which actually released a phone
Mm.
with two dual fans or something, right? Gaming phone,
Oh,
which actually has a
okay.
vapor chamber cooling and those kind of things, right?
I
And
see.
that thing, I mean, like the thing is, OnePlus doesn't stand out from the crowd anymore. It is just another Oppo, right? Like another version of Oppo, and now
Mm.
they have sealed it. Like it is another Oppo, and now the one thing only pins, right? I mean, just rename OnePlus to Oppo.
Mm.
You know, there is no
Exactly.
reason for the OnePlus to exist in it. Like, it is exactly doing the
Yeah.
same thing as Oppo. Now, the only thing that changed, like that made OnePlus was their OS, and now that is also gone.
Yeah. Absolutely. It will be ColorOS with skin of Oxygen OS, which will be delivered to the new Oxygen OS. I mean, OnePlus devices. So, I mean, there is no point in
On
using
positive
OnePlus now.
side, now you can look like Barbie dolls, right?
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can be the Disney prince, right?
Correct. 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 Correct.
The camera will be the
Yeah.
portal to the Disney world.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that concludes that topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I guess do like, share, and subscribe. And if there is any suggestions or questions, let us know in the comments, right? And we will come at every Sunday 9 p.m. on this channel, Tux Forums. So yeah, bro. Let's say
Yeah,
goodbye, right?
right. I mean, this is the first video we are putting in tux, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
yeah, we are
Yes.
really happy to partner with Tux Forums because like they did up the production quality, right? I mean, at this point.
Absolutely.
So, and you can kind of, I guess, rate on the new videos, right? How good it is, suggestions to make it more attractive and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We have so many things planned in the future, and
Correct.
yeah. So anyway, we will see you next Sunday at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Bye bye.